Hello, 7th graders. Today we're going to learn about writing equations when given 1 point and a slope. So for number 1, it wants us to write the equation of the line that has a slope of -7/2 and passes through the point 0, -1. 0 being our x value, -1 being our y. So first thing to remember, the equation that they're looking for is y equals mx plus b, our slope-intercept form. And of course, we know m is our slope, which it already gives us. It's that -7/2. So m equals -7/2. Our y-intercept is the other thing that we need to find. B equals. Well, we know that our y-intercept is what our y value is when our x is 0. So here it says, what if x equals 0? All we have to do is use the y value as our y-intercept. So then we can go ahead and write our equation. We have y equals -7/2x minus 1. So that last example made it nice and easy for us. But what if x does not equal 0? Well, then we need to list out our given variables. So what is our y, our m, and our x? Next, we can plug in our slope for m and the x and the y from the given point. And from there, we can solve for b. We can figure out what our y-intercept is. Then we can rewrite the equation y equals mx plus b with our slope and our b value plugged in, or our y-intercept plugged in. So right off the bat with this one, I can see that my x value is not 0. It's actually -2, and my y is 11. Well, we also know that my slope is -5, so I'm going to go ahead and first list those out. So now that I have them listed out, I can go ahead and plug them into my slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So you can see I plugged my 11 in for y, my -5 in for m, my -2 in for x, and now all I have to do is solve for b. So -5 times -2 is +10. So now on the right we have 10 plus b, and on the left we just have 11. Last step, move that 10 over to the other side by subtracting it out. And on the right, the 10s cancel out, leaving us with just b. And on the left, 11 minus 10 is just 1. So we get what our y-intercept is, 1 equals b, or b equals 1. Now the last step is to just plug in our b and our slope, so our y-intercept and our slope, back into our y equals mx plus b equation. So finally, we get our final answer of y equals -5x plus 1. And that is our equation that answers our question with the equation of a line that passes through -2, 11 and has a slope of -5. Go ahead and pause the video, try this last one on your own, and then come back and see how you did. So this one says, what is the equation of the line that has a slope of -1/2 and passes through the point -4, -4? Well, that first -4 is our x value. Second one is our y value. So we first want to list out what we know. We know our y is -4, our m is -1/2, and our x is -4. We don't know what b is. So what we're going to do is go ahead and plug in what we do know into our slope-intercept form, so into y equals mx plus b. The y becomes -4, the m becomes -1/2, the x becomes -4, and we leave that plus b as it is because we don't know what b is. Well, we take -1/2 times -4, which is +2. That's still equal to -4, and we're still adding on that b. Lastly, subtract 2 from both sides, and we get b equals -6. So that's what our y-intercept is. So last step, take our y-intercept and our slope and plug it back into our slope-intercept form. So we get y equals -1/2 times x minus 6, since that's 6 and negative. And there is the answer to our question.